Okay, so let's run through some examples. So for this first one, it says line S passes through the points -4, 0, that's this point right here, and 5, 2, that's this point right here. Construct a line through point J, which is -2, 4, that's this line right here, that is parallel. Parallel is going to be key. So we know that we want to go through point J, and if we're talking parallel, we know that our line is going to kind of go in this direction. You can't eyeball it. You have to have an exact line, and the way to do that is to use the slope. So the first thing we're going to do is calculate the slope of this line here. And remember that we said, remember slope is m, and we said that slope is rise over run. And so if we look at rise over run, that's the same as how much did our y value change over how much did our x value change, okay? For this one, I know that I have a positive slope, and I can count my boxes to see, so I have to go up 2, so that means my delta y is 2, and I have to go to the right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that tells me the slope of my given line is 2/9. Now parallel, we learned, means that it has to have the exact same slope. So the slope of my new line, or line 2, also has to be 2/9. All you have to do is go to the point they give you and count out your slope from there. So we're going to go up 2, and then we're going to go to the right 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This is my second point. So I have point J, and I have my second point. Now I'm going to go to my shapes tool, and I am going to draw a segment. Make sure you choose the insert line tool. I'm going to connect these two to start with, just to make sure I'm going through the right points. Then I'm going to choose the select tool. That way I can grab these points and extend them. Just make sure that before, let go, there we go. Before you let go of it, make sure that you're going through the point that you want to go through. Okay. If you click on it, you'll get this pop-up menu. And if you click on the bars, you can put arrows on both ends and not have to draw them. Cami will do it for you. And then the last thing that we would do is we would just go ahead and put these parallel marks on them to say that both of these lines are parallel. Okay, let's look at the next one. This says line T passes through the points -3, 1, -1, sorry, -3, -1, so this point here, and -1, 7 is this point up here. Construct a line through point K, which is 4, 4, that is perpendicular to line T. Same process. We have to find the slope of line T. So the slope of our first line, or line T, we're going to do rise over run again. Again, it's a positive slope, so I should have a positive fraction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I went up 8. And then I went over 2. So that tells me I have a slope of 4, which is the same as 4 over 1. My new slope needs to be perpendicular. Okay, so that tells me the slope of my new line, or line 2, you could have named this 1, doesn't really matter, as long as you keep your lines straight. So perpendicular is negative reciprocal. So if this is a positive slope, perpendicular is going to have a negative slope. And if this is 4 over 1 for my rise over run, I'm going to flip that over and make it 1 over 4. And then I'm going to go back to my new point, point K, and just count out that slope. So remember, when we have a negative slope, one of your directions has to be negative. So if you go up 1, which is in the positive direction, you have to go to the left 4 in order to get a negative slope. And remember, in your mind, when you sketch this, it should be going downhill. If you don't have a line going downhill, if it's not a negative slope, then double check your work and make sure that you're plotting it correctly. If you choose to go down 1, that would be your negative value. So then you have to go to the right 4 and make it positive. Okay, so we need one direction to be positive, one direction to be negative. And then go back to your shapes and go ahead and sketch your line and then make the adjustments that you need. So we want to extend it out in both directions so that we have a line. We don't want a segment for this. And then I'm going to click on it and add the arrows. Come on, Cami. Add the arrows to the end to show that we have a line. And then remember, these are perpendicular, so I'm not going to put arrows on them because they're going different directions. Remember, the symbol to show perpendicular lines is where you finish the box in the corner. Okay, next example. This says to write an equation that is parallel to y equals 2x plus 1 and passes through point P in slope-intercept form. So remember, slope-intercept is y equals mx plus b. Parallel to this line, so we have to look at this line and figure out what my m is. The m is always the coefficient in front of x, so it's 2. So that tells me my m is going to be 2. And then point P is going to give me my x and my y. So for x, I'm going to plug in 1. And for my y, I'm going to plug in 5. And then I'm going to solve for b. So 5 equals 2 plus b, subtract 2, and I know my b is 3. Okay, now that I know my b, and I know that parallel, their m's are going to be the same, so my m is going to be 2, I can go ahead and write my equation now. Y equals, my m is 2, 2x plus b would be plus 3, and that would be my new equation. To confirm this, you can hop over to the Desmos graphing calculator, and you can graph y equals 2x plus 1 and graph y equals 2x plus 3 and confirm that they are, in fact, parallel lines. Okay, next one, write an equation that is perpendicular to y equals 5x minus 3 and passes through point P. So now we have a slope. Our given slope is 5, because that's the number in front of x. And the slope that we want to use has to be perpendicular. So remember, 5 is the same as 5 over 1. So this is a positive slope, so perpendicular would be negative, and then flip your fraction over. And then we'll do the same thing. We're going to substitute in 2 for x, and we're going to substitute -1 for y. So we'll have -1 equals, my new m, make sure you're using m2, is -1/5 times my x, which is 2, plus b, and we're using this to find our slope-intercept. So -1 equals -2/5 plus b. When I add a 2/5 over here, I have -1 plus 2/5. Remember, 2/5 or -1 would be -5/5, so that would give me a -3/5 is my b. And now I can write my equation. Y equals, my m is -1/5 x minus 3/5 is my b. There's your equation.